you have a lot more time, and what we kind of do is we're digging in the weeds a little bit more. You know, we had pretty good special teams last year and in previous years, but now you can really dive in and find the things you need to improve on. So on a day-to-day basis, we're meeting a lot and just trying to fine-tune how can we improve the team. Even if we were good at a certain unit, how can we get better at that? So just more time on your hands to dig in the weeds.
What are some of the areas, I guess, that you're really focusing on?
We're always going to focus on punt because that's one where you've got to protect and you got to cover. So you got to be on offense and defense. You got to be able to do both skill sets there. So we're always focusing on punt. We're going to focus on the core four, and obviously we're having some new guys on our field goal and field goal block unit. We've got to improve at that too.
How did this change come about? Was it something you brought up to Coach Leopold? Something he talked to you about? How did this kind of?
This was Coach Leipold, and you know, given we had 4 coaches involved in special teams and wanting guys to focus more on whether you're a linebacker coach, defensive line coach, receiver coach, focus on that, and having one guy kind of take control, and it's something I've done before, so that's how we transitioned to that.
Do you still have different assistants involved in that way that you used to?
Yeah, always. It's important here, special teams, and all coaches are involved. You know, there's just not a lead coach for that position. I'm that lead coach for every position. But all coaches are still involved.
What did the scouting process look like for Matt coming from Australia? How did you guys find that?
Yeah, just, you know, we've got a connection with Tim Gleason, some of the Aussie kickers, coaches and kickers down there, and just in the recruiting process, we watched a bunch of guys, and we saw a young kid. He's 19 years old, but 6'3", you know, had a lot of potential, really strong natural leg, pretty good athlete, and that's how we started the process there.
Yeah, how do you go about, it's literally across the world, like how do you go about like recruiting someone like that? What is that process kind of like?
Yeah, so our last 2 punters have been Aussie guys, so we've got a routine. It's just reaching out to the connections down there and then saying, hey, who do you got? We know their kids in there training every day, and they just start sending us names, and we go through all those names. It's pretty rigorous routine there, and once we find a guy we like, we dig a little bit more on him, personality, if he's a fit, and if he fits within the scheme of what we do.
Tim Gleason's Academy is kind of new, I guess. How did you come to get to know it and have it be a source for you guys?
Yeah, that was actually Aaron Miller, one of our senior special teams analysts. When he was, I think, at Rutgers in Ohio State, they worked with him then, and that was the connection. When he got here 4 years ago, we started using him then.
Onatolu, is that different for you to take a guy that you've never really had a chance to see play?
Yeah, it is. It's scary. It was scary initially, but our first year, the guy we took, Damon, we had a lot of success with him. We were really good, and then Finn was excellent last year. Every year we've improved, and if it ain't broke, right, keep going with it. So.
And only having one punter during the spring, I know you've got another coming in, but I guess how has that affected what you're able to do this time?
Nothing. We're just smart with how many reps he gets. Maybe we'll kick every other, things like that. But we always say we got to put him in bubble wrap, really protect him, and make sure the guys that are rushing and giving good looks on scout team, they don't run into him. And obviously, once June gets here, we get another guy in, and we'll have a 2 deep there.
With Martin, what did you like about him at Michigan State?
Playing in a tough conference, elements, you always look for a guy with strong leg, really powerful leg, started as a redshirt freshman. So all those things you're seeing, I think he was around 75% as a redshirt freshman, which is really good. And you see some of the misses, wind effect, there was a block kick, and just bringing him in on a visit and talking to different kicking coaches just about the kind of potential he has. So a lot of power in his leg.
Been a lot of one and done guys kind of at that spot over the last few years. How much does that help having someone that's got maybe more runway for development?
Yeah, it's really good because then you get some consistency, right? That's always key. And it's a new era with the portal, but you never want to have to start over every year and then learn how we do things, learn how we train, and be at a new school and things like that. So hopefully, you know, he's doing a really good job. He's fit in really well.
Has that been what this year's been like, kind of starting? I mean, I know you got Dane back
Yep.
last year, but otherwise, what's it been like trying to kind of induct a whole new group of guys?
It's a lot of new guys, and you lose all those guys. But the guys Hollis returns and Dane returns, but then the rest of the guys with Martin Reno, our new snapper, they're just good kids. And Reno's a veteran guy. He's a snapper. He's kind of a leader. He's been a captain. He's been a couple different places. So they're all really good. They get along, and they're very mature, and that always helps with the transition. They've, you get new guys in the room, but they've played in college football games, so they have experience there.
Had you ever recruited a snapper out of the portal before?
No. Yeah, and Reno is a guy, when we were at the University of Buffalo, he came to one of our kicking camps, I think, when he was in 8th grade. So I saw Reno back then in 8th or 9th grade, and he was unbelievable. And as soon as we started looking for a guy in the portal, he was one of the guys, for a guy to kind of walk on at Notre Dame and earn a starting position there, play at Cal, start there, and then I was excited because I had a prior relationship with him.
Is Tate still your guy in punt return, or are you evaluating?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dylan Edwards is in there too. Tate's excellent job starting as a true freshman there. He'll be there. We'll have Dylan out back there getting some reps as well. So we've got a lot of good guys, good competition. Corbin Glasgow, he's a true freshman. He's doing a heck of a job too. So a lot of depth there at that position, which we're excited for.
Anyone initially kick return that's
Yeah, we'll throw Dylan back there. And Bryson Hayes, he's been doing a good job too. Cam Pickett. We're right now it's spring ball. It's pretty early. We're 6 practices in, so we're giving everybody an opportunity to go back there and just see how they feel and make sure they're making good decisions, because we got guys that we think can do a pretty good job at it.
What do you think makes Dylan someone who can be dynamic, whether it's punt?
Yeah, well, I've had to scout against stopping him, so he put a lot of fear in me a few years back, right? So what he is he's dynamic. He can make people miss, and he's got the short area quickness, and he can accelerate. So he's hard to see. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. So he's smaller in stature, but by the time you see him, he does a good job of setting up blocks. By the time guys see him, he's hitting it. He's hitting the crease and going. So it's fun to watch some of the things he can do, because he's a really good versatile player.
Anything else for Coach O? All right, thanks guys.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys. Yep.